Hi Aquarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read for the first 2 weeks of October. Let's get right into this. We're going to start with the Wisdom of the Oracle, and then we'll pull a Healing Oracle for our crowning messages. Messages for Aquarius, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Messages that Aquarius needs to know right now. Time to go. Time to go. Okay. So that can mean different things depending on your circumstance. Obviously, it's not going to mean the same thing if you are in a relationship versus if you're not in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, I mean, ultimately this energy means endings and completion and just walking away from something because there's nothing else to learn from the experience. So this does indicate that you're at the end of one journey and you haven't yet begun the next. So this is the moment to really bless any experiences that you've had so far and take stock of what you've learned and just understand that it is time to move on from some sort of experience into a new way of being right now. Especially for those of you who are, and then we got self-love, for those of you who are single right now. So if you're in the space of being single, maybe it's time, okay, it's time to get back out there again, like enough, you know, or just this idea to show yourself more love and compassion if you've been in a downward spiral or a spiral of beating yourself up because something didn't work out. You know, it's going to look something a little different for each of you. But for those of you in relationship or in a weird space of relationship where somebody's definitely in your energy fields, this does indicate that it's over, or at the very least the form of the relationship, the form that it has taken, it's really no longer of service to you or to the other person, right? This is a time of letting go and of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. Now, that doesn't mean that anything is lost, as this card could speak of a couple of things. It could speak of breakup, of drifting apart, the end of a soul contract, needing to be on a break for whatever that means, but you know what I mean. But it's more about release than the destruction. It's like, you know, that saying, if you love something, you know, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours. If not, it never was, right? So endings are always a sign of a new beginning. So if you want something deeper in this particular relationship, you are going to need to walk away for now. And then obviously from there you have to see, you know, what the energies end up indicating. But regardless, it's all about self-love for you right now, Aquarius. Really taking some time out to get to know yourself, what works for you in this particular cycle of your life right now. You don't have to figure out your entire life right now, just right now, this cycle. Some of the biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, which leads to really ultimately a very harsh judgment of ourselves, of closing down, and you know, and it could even, you know, show up in body aches, right, and some kind of illness. So you have to ask yourself, have you been trying to compete with others, right, to get approval from people, you know, in your life? Have you been trying too hard to make a relationship work, bending over backwards, showing up and just to keep the peace in ways that are inauthentic to you, you know? And so this is really about really getting in touch with what you need, opening yourself up to love, and allow yourself to feel vulnerable and exposed, but honest. And do something nice for yourself. If you can, get a massage. If you can, go get a mani-pedi, or, you know, go hang out with your friends, or go do a little shopping if you can, or just be with somebody, or do something, grab a good book. You know, whatever it is that makes you feel good right now in October, you should be very focused on very much taking care of yourself, right? I mean, you guys have had that stellium in your 12th house. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, right? Especially for Aquarius rising, if that's in particular. When I talk house placements, I talk rising sign, right? Because your rising sign is what drives the house placements. All right, so let's get into the tarot. Yeah. All right, so that maybe you guys may be in this space of like a necessary either separation, or you're in this space of saying, you know what, it's about time I get back out there. Okay, let's see what comes up. We have the Four of Pentacles, feeling a little self-protective right now. Okay, let's pull the cards. We have Judgment. So this is coming from the past. Right now we have the Three of Cups energy, the Queen of Cups. Lots of sharing of emotions. We have the Two of Wands and the Tower in the near future. And the final outcome, we have the Queen of Wands. Very nice. Working with the Hierophant. Very nice. All right, let's do it another thing. We have the Ten of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. Somebody's been very patient, very patient, very patient, but the patience has now grown into confusion. Okay. So we have, in the past, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So the Four of Pentacles, yeah, again, I mean, this is about the desire for long-term security. You know, for some people, it can literally mean pentacles, in which case it would be kind of like a greedy energy, not wanting to let go of your money. For others of you, pentacles can be also mental, physical, and emotional connection, in which case it would be that you're in this space of feeling very protective of yourself, right? And that's working with the Ten of Cups energy, which is beautiful. I mean, this is about total love and support. So you're feeling, on the one hand, very protective of self, you know, but really wanting that Ten of Cups energy. But maybe, you know, in some way or another, Aquarius, maybe you were holding yourself back from that. Like, you were looking to protect yourself. It's not that you didn't want the Ten of Cups energy, but maybe you didn't want to let that last piece of yourself go, open up and be vulnerable because you were afraid of getting hurt. It's going to be something a little different for each of you. Or some of you thought you had this Ten of Cups energy, not even realizing how protective the other person was in the relationship of themselves. But this is in the past. And then we have the Judgment working with the Seven of Pentacles. So, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is a very patient, hardworking energy that understands that there's delay, that something needs to, you need to work hard on something, right? This is a Saturn and Taurus energy. So it's the willingness to work very hard on something. We have that working with Judgment, which is clarity and a need to make a final decision. It's this wake-up call. To realize like what is going on here. So many of you may have been in a space within a relationship where you were very patient until you weren't patient anymore, until it got to the point where there was clarity and you felt the need to make a decision because there was too much self-protection going on. Somebody was protecting themselves too much, and there is such a thing as too much, you know. So going into the current energy, we have the Hangman, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups energy is very much feeling like a circle of support, definitely identifying like friendship within this connection. Those of you who are single, you might be just hanging out with your friends. If you're single, maybe just hanging out with your friends. You're a very self-sufficient person. You're all about honesty. You are really getting in touch with what you need to be very safe and secure. The Queen of Cups energy is a Gemini and Cancer energy, right? So Gemini is the third house, communication and learning. And it's working with the fourth house energy of Cancer, roots, safety, what it is that you need to feel nurtured and cultivated in a relationship. You know, it's a very supportive energy, very nurturing, very healing, very supportive. Okay, and then we have the Hangman, though. So you might just be, for those of you who are single now, I'm speaking to you, the Hangman is like, I don't know, you know, it's the Neptune energy. Neptune's like, this window's so dirty looking at the rest of my life, I can't really see through it, right? I always say that about Neptune. It's like trying to look at life through a very dirty mirror or a very thick fog, right? But when you're in the Hangman position, first of all, you're kind of in a pause position. And you're trying to identify the wisdom in a situation. You're trying to identify where have you sacrificed yourself in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. You're trying to get a different perspective. You're really trying to get a different perspective about the relationship. But I do see that you're really trying to get in touch with what it is that you want, need, and desire in relationship. Now, that goes for those of you who are single. And I even feel like those of you who are in relationship, you're just very focused on the truth, on honesty, on communicating what it is that you want, need, and desire in order to feel very safe and secure in something. But I have to tell you, I feel like it might be internal for some of you. Some of you may be actually on a break not with the person because of the Hangman energy, or just you're very introspective and sort of a little distant about it, but you're definitely doing a lot of thinking about, like, is this relationship good for me anymore the way it is? And it does seem like there's a lot of questions for those of you in relationship. Now we have the Two of Wands with the Three of Pentacles, working with the Tower and the Six of Cups. Okay. So for those of you who are single, the Two of Wands energy, this does indicate waiting for a response, waiting for communication so that you can move forward with somebody. So maybe you're sort of kind of flirty with somebody online, and you're waiting for them to, ask you out so that you guys can put in some work into the relationship. The Three of Pentacles is Mars and Capricorn. I call this the Architect card. It's where you guys decide, okay, yeah, let's go on a date. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just kind of connect and do this. But interesting, we get the Tower and the Six of Cups. So for some of you, all right. Well, first of all, let's talk about this. I feel like some of you, it's going to resonate with somebody. I feel like some of you were in a relationship. You're trying to jump back into the game before you're ready, right? You don't want to jump in any pools that you're not meant to swim in, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because we have the Six of Cups energy here. This tells me feeling very nostalgic, wanting a reunion, but we have it with the Tower energy, which means something ending, something coming down. So that's going to resonate for some of you, where you meet this new person, you're feeling confused because you still have somebody else from your past in your energy. You're trying very hard to move forward, but you can't. It ends up coming down, falling apart, and there ends up being this reconnection with somebody from your past. That's for some of you. For others of you, you're in the space where you're waiting for somebody to come back. You end up meeting somebody, you guys get together, you meet, you're like, wow, man, I've met you before. I feel like, this kismet spirit with you. And it could just be very much like a past life soul connection, or this could even be maybe somebody contacted you on social media that you used to be involved with, somebody who you went to school with, somebody who you used to work with. You didn't have to be romantically involved, but I do see you guys getting together. Now, for some of you, this could be a really big challenge to what it's bringing up in you, and this Tower moment can be very internal for you, where you're realizing where you might be getting in your way in relationship. For others of you, this is literally going to be you guys getting together and it just not working out. Okay, that's how it's going to resonate for some of you. Now, for others of you, we have this information coming in right in the near future, you guys being excited, really wanting to push forward, but this energy coming back from the past, so either you or the person that you're with ends up becoming an issue, and there ends up being an ending of that relationship so that there could be a reconnection. And again, this doesn't have to be anybody that you were romantically involved with. This could just be simply somebody from your past. Now, I do want to say for some of you, the Six of Cups energy could also just be going back and visiting your childhood home, reconnecting with old friends, just going and becoming one with life again. If for those of you who have really gone through a serious Tower moment, and just going home, and whatever that means to you, to just really kind of take care of yourself and just practice some really good self-care and self-love. So that's how it's going to resonate with some of you. So the Six of Cups doesn't only mean reunion, right? So that would be the near future. Now, the final outcome, we have the Five of Cups and the Queen of Wands. So the Five of Cups is, it's this bereavement energy for sure. I mean, there's no question. This is a sense of loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved, kind of feeling alone, very focused on the Three Cups that are spilt, not focusing on the Two Cups that are standing, right? And then we have the Devil energy working with the Hierophant. So, and we have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a very confident, very self-assured energy. This could be somebody new that you're meeting. So what I like about this is the Hierophant is about somebody who, see, I'm getting a couple of messages right now. So, and I feel called to say the one that I got second. I'm called to say it first. The Hierophant energy is about traditions and expectations and conformity and being conventional. And then we have the Devil energy. So this could be definitely like somebody who's just like very out of balance, who is way too heavy in with the traditions, or too, things have to be this way, this way, this way. That does not jive well with an Aquarius energy. Just doesn't. You guys are the most unique sign. We love that about you. You cannot compromise that. You guys are the great humanitarians, but you like to you dance to the beat of your own drum, and you need that sense of autonomy and not to feel so restrictive. So I feel like there's this very energy who's coming in and saying like, this is the way it's got to be like this, to the point where it's an imbalance. It's where the Devil energy could come in. Now yes, the Devil does mean addiction and greed and envy and materialism and obsession and sexual lust and all of that. It does mean that. But it's the obsession can also have to do, if we connect it to the Hierophant energy, about conformity, and things have to be this way. And when we have a Queen of Wands energy, this is somebody who's very passionate about it. But at the same time, that overwhelm is making you feel very sort of like alone, and just like not like you matter, like you're sort of invisible. So somebody coming in and wanting to say like, you know, sort of like my way or the highway, like this is how it's got to be, and that ends up really not working out for everyone involved. As it is, it doesn't seem like this ultimately ends up being a healthy energy for you, is what I'm seeing here. Now for others of you, the Hierophant can also indicate celebrating the sacred in your marriage, for those of you who are married. So trying to celebrate the sacred in your marriage when you're dealing with the Devil energy is not easy, you know, where you're dealing with that imbalance. And again, it's everything that I indicated it could be. You know, it's obviously addiction, and the addictions come in all kinds, right? You could be addicted to alcohol, drugs, sex, money, food, you know, depression, anxiety, fear of abandonment, fear of commitment. These can all be addictive sensibilities within the psyche. So if it's, you know, you're trying to celebrate the sacred in your marriage and your connection, but you are dealing with this energy, right? And you're having a hard time dealing with this person because they're coming off as being very self-assured and know there's nothing wrong with me. But meanwhile, you're sitting there saying like, wow, they don't even really see the outcome of their behaviors. It's like you're recognizing that this person that you're dealing with is blind to their own stuff. It's like they don't see it. And that's really difficult. That's making you feel sort of like very alone in the connection, is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, so, all right, so let's, and that would be as the final outcome, is what I'm seeing there. Okay, let's pull some more Normans, see what else we could find. Okay, appreciation, flowers, labyrinth, trying different strategies out, trying different paths out. That could even be dating many different people. The flowers could also be getting a very beautiful message from somebody via the internet, maybe from many different people, right? Because the labyrinth energy is, okay, try this way, this path. Oh, that's not it. Let me try this path. Oh, that's not it. But realizing that every path had its benefit, and then you ultimately find that path that actually works. Okay, we got the Park, which indicates networking and social media, communicating with people online. Then we have the Tower, which is way better in Lenormand than it is in Tarot. That indicates a supportive energy. Okay. The clock is ticking. Time. Patient woman is looking at time, right? Because if we were going in a line like that. So Aquarius men, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This could indicate a female in your life, either that's in your life or somebody new that you're meeting. Female Aquarians, you're being very patient while something rolls out. What is your true north? We got the compass, and then we have the anchor. So there is some sort of connection that you're making here on social media that's going to end up being a very solid, supportive connection. This is like a this is it kind of energy, my friends. It really is. Because this can indicate the institution of marriage. This could also indicate the institution of divorce. So for those of you who are married in a very unhealthy situation, this, you meeting somebody else and you actually finalizing your divorce. But believe it or not, it ends up being exactly what's necessary in order for you to have this final strong foundation. So let's pull some clarifiers for that. We pull the Crystal Visions Oracle, Tarot. Okay, we have the King of Swords. King of Swords is all about, again, facts. You know, facts don't care about, what do they say? Facts don't care about your feelings or whatever. That's very much the King of Swords energy, right? It's just very like intentional, strategic thought. Like, you want to make sure that whoever you're getting involved with, they have the box, the necessary boxes checked off. Like, I'll give you a good example. If you know you want to have a child, why would you bother going with somebody who doesn't really ultimately want kids? That's a silly example, but it's a good one nonetheless, right? Or if somebody wants to play around and you're looking for a serious relationship, like, what's the point, right? Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is feeling sad, but not feeling regretful about moving away from something that has not been working for you. Now, there's a history there to that one. That's not any new energy that you're meeting, right? The Eight of Cups energy is a Saturn in Pisces. Wherever Saturn is, there's been time put in. So it's realizing that whatever you've been involved in, Aquarius, it's not going to bring you what it is that you're looking for. You know that. And even if this is something from your past, it's making that final decision to say, you know what, in the King of Swords energy, I have to be logical and practical about this. Regardless of my feelings, I'm never going to be able to have the kind of relationship I really want with this individual. So I need to walk away. Three of Cups, I like it. Three of Cups is a celebratory vibe. This is being with your friends, being around a strong circle of support. Very nice. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Sun. Lovely. Beautiful. Sun is material happiness. It's a joyous outcome. It's success. It's having, as I always say, it's having all the tools in your toolbox that you need for this next cycle of your life. Whatever that means. You know, figuring out what works for you. You have to put the work in, but the energy is just so supportive of that for you. So I do like that. So let's just pull some oracles to see what kind of energies you were working through here, because it does seem like this letting go and the need for self-love was sort of born out of something. I love you, but I'm afraid to lose my freedom, and I don't know how to balance this. Okay. I know I didn't handle things the right way, but I don't know how to fix it. The mask has fallen off. Okay, somebody's showing their true colors. A significant shift in your path is coming. It's all good. Okay, so definitely a realization. Some light has been shown on a situation that you didn't realize was existing within the relationship. You didn't realize that things were a certain way with a certain person. You didn't realize the extent of something or the reality of something. Girl with the snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. Yeah. So it's just somebody who's like very self-absorbed. The chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. The runner in a codependent relationship. Are you guys kidding? Fear of intimacy, listening to ego. We get the chaser and the runner. Oh my gosh. Everybody's scared and in their corners. All right, coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted by friendship. Yeah, it does seem like you guys are going to be giving yourself some self-love, hanging out with your friends for a little bit, going, putting yourself on social media, really trying to to, you know, heal yourself, but get yourself back out there, because it does seem like this was not the healthiest connection for you, Aquarius. It really doesn't. It doesn't mean that it can't be at some point, but as it was, it's definitely not very good the way it was. Yeah. We got the 5th house. We have Scorpio, which is all about transformation. And then we have Scorpio's modern ruler, which is Pluto. This is about endings and beginnings, guys. This is 8th house energy. This is 8th house energy. Now, you happen to have Venus and Virgo in your 8th house this whole month. And Venus and Virgo, while Venus is debilitated in Virgo, doesn't love hanging out in there, I like it because it's a problem-solving energy. And the 8th house has to do with, which by the way is Scorpio and Pluto, is that exactly what, has to do with how we show up as a we instead of a me. And so there's changes going on here. There are changes. There's transformation. There's transformation. And the 5th house has a very prominent feature for you, okay, right now. And this is about falling in love, romance, the act of sex, how we connect with our partner on a Monday through Sunday. There's not a lot of age to this. You understand? That's more of a 7th house relationship vibe. 5th house is feeling creative, feeling connected, meeting, falling in love. So I feel like if you were in something that was very deep and heavy and all of that, there is some sort of transformation that's going on there. And at least for the time, there's going to be attention put more on either your creativity, maybe your kids for some of you, because 5th house is kids, meeting somebody new, falling in love. You know, it's a general message, so it's going to be something different for each of you. Let's see what part of the sky we need to help out. The numinous mystery, the unknown, the unknowable, focusing on your psychic abilities. I like this for you because we've had the stellium in your 12th house. So this is all about doing your shadow work, paying attention to your inner knowing, paying attention to your intuition, really honoring these by accident, not by accident, meetings, serendipitous kind of things. Pay attention to smells. Pay attention to songs that you're hearing. Feeling suddenly like very hot in your back, tingly in your arms, your technology acting a little wacky. There are messages that are trying to come through, for sure, to communicate with your intuition right now, which is really beautiful. As well as Jupiter return, fabulous. This is about benefits. Jupiter return is great. You know, it's about like an expansion. It's about moving yourself forward, right? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It's about moving forward. So there's forward movement here for you, my friends. Really good. So that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.